Dear students, in the last class we already discussed the problem solving methodologies. So it consists of problem definition, problem analysis, algorithm, flowchart, coding, testing and debugging. Okay. So now we have to discuss the next topic. So that is programming constructs. So programming constructs. So if you want to construct the program, so we have to follow some rules. So we have to follow some topics, some parts, some types. Okay. So here programming constructs can be of three types. So first one is sequence. Second one is selection. Third one is iterative or looping construct. Iterative. So programming construct means if you want to construct the program, so we can apply, we can use some topics. Okay, so that is nothing but the sequences, selection, iterating or iteration or looping construct. Okay, so here the first one is sequence construct. So here sequence construct is nothing but it is a sequence of steps one after the other. For example, if you want to write the algorithm or if you want to draw the flowchart of sum of two numbers. First one you can write start. In the next step you can write input of a comma b. In the next step you can write c is equal to a plus b. In the next step you can print. After that you can stop. Means whatever you can define the steps for the particular program, particular algorithm or particular flowchart. So the steps must be very clear and one after the other, so you can define the steps. So here sequence means one after the other. That is nothing but the sequence or sequential constructs. Second one is selection statement. So it consists of some types. That is simple if then else, if then else, nested if. The selection statements can be again further classified into some types. That is simple if statement, if then else statement, if else if then else statement, nested if statement, and another one is multiple choice or switch. It is also called as switch. Selecting from the alternatives. Okay, so here multiple choice means or multiple selection or switch. Switch means selecting from the alternative. So these five are the selection constructs. Okay, in which situation we have to use these five? So the first one is simple if construct or simple if statement. The syntax is if condition statements. So first it will check the condition. If the condition is true, then it will execute the statements. Otherwise next statement. So this next statement is not dependent on the condition. If the condition is true, immediately it will execute statements. After that it will execute the next statement. Suppose if the condition is false, means this will not execute. Directly it will execute the next statement. Okay. If you want to define only one condition, that is only true statements, that time we can use only the simple if condition. And the flowchart of this simple if condition is, so how to write the flowchart for condition? So we can use rhombus symbol. If condition statement, suppose if it is false, next statement. See here, if the condition is true, then it will execute statement. If the condition is false, it will come to the next statement. So this is the flowchart for simple if statement. Simple if means it does not have any else block. Only true block statements will be present inside the simple if condition. Okay, so this is the first one. Second one is if then else statement. Simple if then else statement means, again, if the condition is true, it will execute the statement 1. It will execute the statement 1. Else statement 2. Else statement 2. First it will check the condition. If it is true, it will execute the statement 1. Otherwise the statement 2 will be executed. So here else indicates the false block statement. This block will execute only when the condition becomes false. In this case, either statement 1 will be executed or statement 2 will be executed. And the flowchart for this if then else statement is, if condition true, false, statement 1, statement 2, next. So here statement 1 will be executed only when the condition is true. Statement 2 executed only when the condition becomes false. Next statement is not dependent on any condition. If the condition is true, then also it will execute. If the condition is false, that time also it will execute. That is next statement. It is not dependent on the any condition. Compulsory that statement will be executed once in a program. Okay, so this is the simple if then else statement. Example, you can write any example. For example, if A is greater than B, print A is large, else B is large. If A is greater than 0, print A is positive, else A is negative. Okay, so you can write any example. So again, these topics will come in the programming concept in detail. So that is the one advantage. Whatever the questions will ask in the exam, either it may be in the programming part or either it may be in the problem solving methodology. Both are same. Okay. Third one is if then else statement. The difference between if then else statement and if then else statement is, this will execute only two conditions will be present. For example, largest of two numbers, to check whether the given number is positive or negative, even or odd, leap year or not. So in this situation we have to use if then else statement. Then when we have to use if then else statement, if the number is positive, negative or 0, it consists of three conditions. Okay, so two conditions we have to check and one is by default. In this situation we have to use if then else statement. So here, see here, if condition 1, statement 1. In the else block again you are checking condition. If condition 2, statement 2, else statement 3. Statement 3. See here, if else then else statement. And one more thing you have to remember is depending upon the situation, depending upon the number of conditions, the number of else if block will be increased. And first condition is for else and last is for else. Sorry, first condition is for if statement and last is for else. In between remaining conditions must be put inside the else if. For example, a student has scored distinction first class, second class, pass or fail. Means we can check 5 conditions here. If the above 80 or 85 distinction greater than 60, first class greater than 50, second class greater than 40, first class greater than 35, pass or fail. Okay, 5 conditions we have to check. So the first condition must be put inside the if condition and last fail condition must fail. If any one of the above condition is not satisfied, not true, means by default the student has failed. That is in else block. Okay, and remaining is 3. 3 else if block will be defined. Okay, based on the situation, based on the program, the number of else if block will be increased. Okay, so this is the syntax for if else if then else statement. Syntax is if condition 1, true means statements. So false means again can check the condition. If condition again true means statements. False means according to this syntax, false means again statements. Statement 2, statement 3. Suppose again if else if in the bracket of condition 3 means here you can write one more condition. That is false means again you are checking the condition. Else if is nothing but the inside the false block again you are checking the condition. That's why it is called as else if. Okay, so next is nested if statement. So here nested if means if inside the if condition. See here, if condition 1, again inside this again you have to check the condition 2. If it is true, statement 1, else statement 2, again else statement. See here, first you can check the condition. It will check the condition 1. If it is true, it will check a condition 2. Suppose if the condition 1 is false, means it will come to this else block. So this else belongs to the inner if condition. So outer else belongs to the outer if condition. Nested if means if inside the another if condition. Okay, suppose if you want again in the else block, again if you want to define the if condition, means again it is also possible, or directly you can define else if also. Okay, so nested if means if inside the if condition. If the condition 1 is true, next it will check condition 2. Again if it is true, it will execute the statement 1. Suppose if the condition 1 is correct, condition 2 is false, means it will execute the else that belongs to the inner if statement. So this is the nested if statement. So you can try this flow chart. Okay, first you can write the condition. The condition is true, again you can check. The condition is false. Directly you can write statement 3 or statement 2. Statement 3. Okay. So the last one is multiple selection, multiple choice or switch. So here multiple choice or switch means it is selecting from the alternatives. Based on the user choice, the statements will be executed. Statements will be executed. Okay. In a multiple choice, there are 4 options will be there. So among the 4 options, we have to select one. In the same way, it consists of 4 operations. For example, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So all the 4 operations must be defined in the multiple selection or switch statement. Okay. Among the 4, at that time user can execute only one option. It is choice of user. Either user can execute addition, either user can execute subtraction, or either user can execute multiplication, or either user can execute the division. It depends. It depends on the user choice. Okay, that is nothing but the switch statement. So in detail it will come in the programming concepts. Okay. So the third one is iteration. Iteration or looping. So here iteration or looping means repetitive. Okay. So whatever the statements will be defined, that can be repeatedly executed. For example, so if you want to print the number from 1 to 100, selection means one time it will select either true or false, it will decide. But if you want to print the 1 to 100 numbers, so just I can enter initial value 1 and just I can give the final value, that is limit is 100. So based on the initial value and final value, the statements will be executed one by one repeatedly. So for that process, so we have to use the iteration or looping. Iteration or looping. So it is nothing but the process of repetition of statements, or the process of repeating the sequences of statements until the particular condition is satisfied, until the condition is false. Here also you have to write the condition. First it will check the condition. If the condition is true, only one time the statements will be executed. So here, first time the condition is true, it will execute the statement. So after that, again it will check the condition. Again it will execute. Again it will check the condition. Again it will execute the statements. So this process will repeat up to the condition become false. So that concept, that topic is nothing but the iteration or looping. Again in looping there are 3 types. First one is while loop, second one is do while, third one is for. So all are small letters. So first one is while, second one is do while, third one is for loop. Okay, so first one is while. Simple is there, while condition statements. Here first it will check the condition. If the condition is true, it will execute the statements. So after executing the statements, again it will execute the statements. So these statements will be executed repeatedly until the condition become false. So just I can take one example. See here, initially I can give I is equal to 1, n is equal to I is equal to 1. Just I have to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. While I is less than or equal to 5, print I is equal to I plus 1. See here. Initially I value is 1, 1 is less than or equal to 5, condition is true, it will print 1. See here, I is equal to I plus 1 means 1 plus 1, 2, 2 is stored in I become 2. So when the I value become 2 means again it will check the condition with the new updated I value. Here present value of I is 2, 2 is less than or equal to 5, again condition is true, it will print 2, I is equal to 2 plus 1 means 3, 3 is less than or equal to 5, again 3, next it will 4, next it will 5, and the I value becomes 6, it is 6 is less than or equal to 5, condition is false. Once the condition is false, it will come out of the loop. So this is the while loop. In the same way, do while. Do while means first it will execute the statement, after that it will check the condition. In the same way, for loop also. So just I will show you do while. So do while means it can use do keyword, print of I. So I is equal to I plus 1. So you can close the bracket. So here you can write while I is less than or equal to 5. So while and do while. While is a entry controlled loop. Entry control means first we can check the condition, next you can execute the statement. So do while means it is a exit control loop. Exit control loop means first it will execute statements, after that it will check the condition. Okay. So in the next class we will discuss the for loop. Okay. Thank you.